front of everything.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. First of all, I just wanted to say, the Christians, I've never really talked about Christians and Muslims debates before, because I've been very busy with Sunni, Shia and all these things, yeah? But I'm trying to not focus on that no more. I'm trying to focus more in Christian and Muslim debates and helping the youth, you know, with depression, helping people that are sad. You know, like, I'm trying to change my stance in life, innit? I don't want to be like just debating about Sunni and Shia. There's other things as well that's important. So I'm gonna be doing like, I'm gonna be helping the youths and that. I've got my YouTube channel Deen, so I'm gonna start doing something on that as well. But on these channels, like, I want the Christians who listen to me. First of all, salam alaikum to everyone, yeah. I want the Christians that to listen to me, what I'm gonna say, to take notes as well, because sometimes when you take notes, you learn more, innit? And I'm gonna keep going, so don't get bored. Oh, what's Deen saying? I'm gonna go get a cup of tea and biscuits. If you're gonna go get a cup of tea and biscuits, pause it, because I'm gonna say some stuff which are important, because obviously, what's the most important thing is to talk about, obviously all my brethren are sitting over there smoking shisha, just over there. That's why there's a lot of noise. My guys, in it, there's about bare man just smoking shisha. But like I said, we can have fun, but at the same time we have to remember God. We have to remember what's important. We have to remember that we have to discuss, debate, you understand, in an intellectual way and bring evidences. Now, alhamdulillah, I get a chance to say things on my channel, on this channel, on other channels, you understand? And the whole world listens to Deen, you understand? I told you, like, man's on the next level now, innit? I'm out the zones. You lot, I'm on a different thing, you understand? Man's out there, innit? With John Cena and KSI and that, you understand me, innit? But like I said, yeah, but still, man's humble. I come back, I still come back to you lot, and I won't leave you lot. Even if I get so famous in Hollywood, I will still be with the people. I won't leave the people, you get me? Because a man like Deen is a humble guy, you get me? Man's a light out here, fam, you get me? Real G's out here, real G's, yeah? Listen to, yeah, what he saying? He's saying, listen to him, he's blessed, yeah? So, obviously, we're all getting old, and soon we're gonna die. We can bite down tonight. So it's better to know the truth now. You don't know, because if you don't know the truth, you're gonna be punished in your grave, innit? If you don't follow the truth. Remember that God's punishment is very severe, you know what I'm saying? You might be laughing now, but once you're under the ground, it's not a joke. I can give you lot, I'm going to do it on another day, or all those people, them famous people that were like pagans and agnostic or whatever, sorry about that didn't believe in God. At the time of death, so many famous ones, at the time of death, when the angel of death was coming to take their life, they started, I can give you so many. They started like crying and saying, oh, please God forgive us, we were wrong. They told their family, because you know at the time of death, their family was around them and their family narrate these things. So hundreds of them, do you understand? So it could be our last day today. So it's better for you to know the truth. So what I'm gonna say, take some notes of it. If you can take notes, if you can remember what I'm gonna say, because it's not like any other YouTube video where you're just having fun, you're dancing, you're doing pranks. No, this is serious stuff, bro. Yeah? So obviously, you're gonna be judged. There's God's watching, you understand? Now God's gonna say to you, I sent Deen to you. Why did you not listen? I sent Deen to you. Why did you not listen? That's what's going to be said to you. Now, the first thing I want to talk about was in the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After he died, there was a lot of discussions between Christian priests, Catholic priests, with the 12 disciples of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The 12, because you know, after the Prophet Muhammad went, he left for the world Imam Ali, and then after Imam Ali, he left Imam Hassan, then Imam Hussein, then Imam Zain al-Abidin, then Imam Muhammad Baqir, Imam Ja'far Sadiq, Imam Musa al-Kadhim, Ali ibn Musa al-Radha, Muhammad ibn Ali al-Jawad, Ali ibn Muhammad al-Hadi, and Hassan ibn Ali al-Askari. You understand? Imam al-Mahdi, the last one. We put our hand on our head out of respect, because he's in oculation right now. Just like Jesus is in hiding, Imam Mahdi is in hiding, same thing. And they will both return. But one of these disciples, the 8th Imam, in his time, it was the Abbasi regime. So Imam was the most knowledgeable at that time. So the Abbasi is also from Bani Abbas, they're from Quraysh, you understand? So he said that Imam, he was a ruler at that time. So he brought all the Jewish priests, the Christian priests, the atheist priests, and he made a discussion with the 8th Imam, with the Christian priests, you understand? And because the only one that could answer them properly was the Imam, because he gets his knowledge from all the way from to the Prophet Muhammad directly. Do you understand? It's not fabricated knowledge like you get other schools of thought. It could be fabricated a bit. Do you understand? I'm going to say a few incidences that happened. Imam al-Rida, the 8th Imam, was obviously the successor after the Holy Prophet Muhammad. He was taken against his will from Medina to the Abbasi Khalifa in what is called today Iran, okay? And this Khalifa was very strong and rich and everything. So what happened was, there was a debate which the Imam had a group of scholars. Imam al-Rida alayhi salam was debating the Christian scholar. So the Christian scholar asked a few questions. Okay, this is how it started. Imam al-Rida to the Christian scholars, he said, swear to Allah, I swear to Allah, we believe in Jesus, whom Muhammad, peace be upon him, believed in. We have no objection to Jesus except for his weakness, and his scant praying and fasting. So you can't say he's a god because he used to fast, he used to pray. Do you understand? For you, because this Christian guy was saying Jesus is a god. So the Christian scholar said, swear to God, you just corrupted your knowledge and you weakened your matter and argument. I had thought that you were the most. So he was saying, what? So the Imam said, how? So the Catholic priest said, you are saying that Jesus was weak and he prayed and fasted, while not a day of Jesus' life went by without fasting, and not a night without staying up and praying. Jesus fasted every day and stayed awake every night and prayed every night. So the Imam al-Rida, the 8th Imam, he said, who was he praying and fasting to? Who was he doing it for? Who was Jesus doing this for? So the Catholic priest became silent and he said nothing. Then Imam al-Rida, the 8th Imam, he said, I want to ask you a question. Why do you deny that Jesus, by God's permission, not his own, revived the dead? So the Catholic priest said, I deny this because anyone who raises the dead and cures the blind and heals the sick is God and deserves to be worshipped. So Imam al-Rida said, surely the Prophet Yasa performed similar acts as Jesus. The Prophet Yasa also walked on water, raised the dead, healed the blind, but his nation did not consider him as a god, and they did not worship him. Prophet Ezekiel in the Bible raised the dead like Jesus did. He revived 35,000 people after being deaf for 60 years. And God sent down in the midst of the valleys, which was full of bones, and caused okay, so I'm going to read it from the Bible. You lot know this in the Bible, how he done all these miracles. Okay, this is the Bible, the Old Testament, the book of Ezekiel. Okay, so it doesn't mean because the Prophet Jesus did miracles, that means he's a god. Because other people also did miracles, and they were not seen as gods. Do you understand? Now, I'm going to come to the big debate, or the big argument for all the Christians, because I know Christians, they listen to Bob the Builder for 2 hours or 3 hours. They might take notes, yeah, and I appreciate that, because taking notes is good. So you can know what to do in your argument. Next time you debate someone, you've got notes. So now, just like you listen to Bob the Builder for 3 hours, hey, my brethren are having sick. What are you lot doing? Yo, what's going on? Hey, let me put them on the camera. Sorry. Yeah, show them. هاد شباب هاي صوركم شباب سلم عليكم صور لا شيل listen they're making too much noise. Can we no, can we just come this way? Can you hear their noise? No, nothing. All right. Salam alaikum, brother. How you doing? You right? Alhamdulillah. Okay. If you got anything to say, I can let you say. Okay. So I got someone that wants to say something as well. Hasni! تعال هنا يلا بدون حشي تجي هنا تجي Put it. This Husni is gonna praise, he's praising Jesus and he's Muslim. احكي. عليكم السلام.
إن لله وإنا إليه راجعون وحق للمحمود جد ياسين وحفظ كلام الحسين بعترة القرار لم يفلح في حق الحق المنتظر إلا بقية الله من جده المنتظر في كعبة المحمود لحق فلسطين وهكذا جند القرار في أسود سوريا.
English.
That's why all people of Muslim from Syria and 127 UN country vote to Palestine because Soldier of Assad. Soldier of Assad who care about kids of Palestine. That's why Muhammad family from بقية الله موسوي وبقية الله المهدي المنتظر في أرض الرضا إيران الغار. خذافي هو الوحيد الحق للحسنى في كلام فلسطين نحمده ونشكره على جدنا ياسين وعلي القرار الذي أنزل له في الكعبة.
بالإنجليزي.
هيك حق ياسين إنه بحكي.
هو English. He's saying about.
I'm talking about my مولى إمام محمدي جدنا رسول الله who care about all religions, especially the spiritual of our spirit of God, Jesus, Prophet. That's what our family Musawi will talk about our religion. Respect all religion.
Okay, so that was Husni. He's very passionate for the Christian people. He loves them. He always says, take care of the Christian people. They are lovely people. Anyone who hurts a Christian person is like he's hurt me. So Husni is a very lovely person. He loved the Christian people. And we obviously, we tried our best to protect them in Syria and in Iraq because they were getting persecuted by ISIS. We lost thousands of men protected them. Do you understand? Because this is our duty, because the Christian is our brothers. Do you understand? So alhamdulillah, I just wanted to carry on this. I wanted to give you lot. Have you got your pens and papers ready to hear this discussion with the Imam al-Rida, the eighth disciple of the Prophet Muhammad, and a Catholic priest. This is a big argument. So, this is how it's going to start like this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The Catholic priest was asked to debate with Imam al-Rida in front of the king at that time. The Catholic priest said, how can I argue with a man who argues with me through a book which we have denied and a prophet I do not believe in? That's what the Catholic priest said. He said, how can I argue with him? I don't believe in his prophet, I don't believe in his book. The Catholic thought that the Imam, peace be upon him, would produce evidence in support of his beliefs through some verses of the Holy Quran or through some words of the Messenger, like through the hadiths, through the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family. However, he asked the Imam to give proof of his beliefs from their own books. The Imam said, I'm going to bring it for you from your own books, from the Bible, not from the Quran and not from the hadiths. So the Imam said, I'm going to bring you proofs from your own books from the Gospel. But if I bring you proofs, will you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Muhammad and the Ahlul Bayt? The Catholic priest said, yes, I will believe. If you bring me proofs from your own books, from our own books, I will believe. Okay? Because when you bring logic to someone and evidence, you have to believe. Like you can't someone show you the proof and you say no. So he said yes. So the Imam said, what is your view on the prophethood? Okay, the Catholic said, by Allah, the Imam said, by Allah, I will admit it, I can repel what the Bible speaks about. Okay. Whatever you desire, okay. The question was, what is your view of the prophethood of Jesus Christ and his book? Do you deny anything of them? The answer was, I admit the prophethood of Isa, Jesus Christ, and his book, of what he brought good news to his community, and the disciples admitted it. He who does not admit the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad and his book, and does not bring good news of them to his community, denies the prophethood of Jesus. Do you understand? So it's linked. The the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad and the prophethood of Jesus is linked. Aren't the precepts proved through two just witnesses? Asked the Catholic. He said yes, the Imam replied. Therefore name two witnesses from other than the people of your religion and from those who the Christians do not deny, that they might confirm the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And ask for the like of that from among other than the people of our religion, demanded the Catholic. So the Catholic is saying, bring me evidence from our people. Do you understand? The Imam believed his statement, for he brought justice, saying, now you have brought justice. Do you not accept from me, the just one, who was given preference over the others by the Messiah, Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary? Who is the just one? Name him for me, asked the Catholic. The Imam said, what is your view on Yohanna? Yohanna. All the Christians know who is Yohanna, okay? He said, what is your view on Yohanna al-Dalaymi? But the Imam asked him. So the Catholic man said, okay, bravo, you have mentioned the most lovable of the people to Jesus, Yohanna, okay? So the Imam Riza said, the Prophet's grandson, Imam Riza, he asked him, I challenge you to swear by Allah. Does the Bible say, or swear by Jesus or God for him? Does the Bible say that Yohanna says, verily, the Messiah has told me of a religion of Muhammad, the Arab, yeah, given me good news of him, he will be a prophet after him. He will be a prophet after him. So I, Yohanna, gave good news of him to the disciples, and they recognized him. They believed him. The Catholic was unable to deny the Imam's statement, but he said, Yohanna did not name him for us, that we may recognize him, the Prophet. The Imam asked him, if we bring you someone who recites the Bible and recites to you Muhammad's name, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his household as well, and his community, then will you believe? As the Catholic answered, okay. The Imam turned to Nestus, the Roman, and asked him, have you memorized the third book of the Bible? Because there was a man called Nestus. Okay. Remember, we're talking, this is the time of the Abbasidi Khalifa, okay? This is like 80 years after Prophet Muhammad has died. We're talking this discussion happened. Or 100 years. 100 years, I think. Okay. Oh no, more than 100. In the time of the Ma'mun, the Abbasidi Khalifa, Ma'mun. Okay. He asked the Christian, the Roman, the Nestus, the Roman, have you memorized the third book of the Bible? He said, yeah, I've memorized it. The Imam, peace be upon him, said, addresses the Catholic, saying, don't you recite the Bible? He said, yes. The Imam said, therefore I will recite to you some verses from the third book. If Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, his name, may be Allah pleased with him and his family, if his name and his family's name has been mentioned in this book, the Bible, then bear witness to me, then and if they have not been mentioned, then do not bear witness to me. You understand? You don't have to be Muslim. The Imam recited to him some verses from the third book. When he reached the reference to the Prophet, may Allah be pleased with him and his family, he turned to the Catholic and asked him, I challenge you to swear by Jesus and his mother. Did you know that I had knowledge of the Bible? The Catholic said yes. The Imam recited to him some verses from the third book concerning the reference to the Prophet and his family. What is your view? This is the statement of Jesus, son of Mary. If you deny what the Bible says, then you will deny Moses and Jesus. If you deny them, then it is obligatory on people to kill you, for you have denied your Lord, your Prophet, and your book. Yeah? The Catholic said, I do not deny the clear things in the Bible, rather I admit them. The Imam turned to those who were present and asked them to remind the Catholic of his own words. Remind him that what he said. And then he said to the Catholic, question me whatever you want. Ask me any question. So the Catholic asked him, tell me about the disciples of Jesus, son of Mary. How many were they? Tell me about the scholars of the Bible. How many were they? The Catholic asked. So the Imam Riza said, you have found the expert. As for the number of disciples, they were 12. Okay? As for the number of disciples, they were 12. Okay? The best and the most learned of them was Loka. His name was Loka. As for the number of the scholars of the Christians, it was 3 men. Johanna, the greatest, Yahi, Johanna, Bakrikisia, and Johanna al-Dulaimi, another Johanna, Bazicha, who had the reference to the Prophet. May Allah be pleased with him. It is he who gave good news to the community of Jesus and the children of Israel of him. You understand? And then the Imam said, by Allah, we believe in Jesus, we believe in Muhammad, God be pleased with him and his family. We have nothing against Jesus except, okay. When the Catholic heard the last words of the Imam stating, he shouted, by Allah, by God, you have corrupted your knowledge, your affair has become, okay. The Catholic lost his mind. He said, because of your statements, okay. So, the Catholic, sorry about that. The Catholic admired the Imam's knowledge of the books, and he said, we have heard of it and recognized it. The Imam turned to a Jew who was in the session and asked him to recite verses of the Torah. And he recited them, and there was in them a reference to the prophets. Then the Imam turned to the Catholic and said, were these prophets before Jesus? Or was he before them? Rather, they were before him, was the answer. The Imam began reciting to them some miracles of his grandfather, Holy Prophet Muhammad, saying the Quraysh, the pagan Arabs, they gathered around the Prophet, may Allah be blessed with him, and his family, and asked him to give life to their dead. He sent with them Ali ibn Abi Talib and said to him, go to the cemetery, call out at the top of your voice so the people, like the people's names of the dead. Go to the cemetery and call out the dead people's names on the loudest voice, who the pagan Arabs have asked. So, say to the dead people, so and so and so, for example, the Prophet Muhammad, may Allah bless him and his family, says to you, rise with the permission of Allah, the great and the mighty. They rose and dusted off their heads. When the pagan Arabs, the Quraysh, walked towards them and asked them about their affairs, and then they told them that Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Prophet, was appointed as a prophet, the people who rose from the dead said, we knew that and we believed in him. The Prophet healed the blind, the leprous, and the mad, the beasts, the birds, the jinn. The Satan spoke to him, but we did not adopt him as Lord other than Allah. We do not deny the favors of any of these prophets. If you have adopted Jesus as a Lord, then it is permissible for you to adopt Al-Yasa and Al-Hizkal as 2 lords, if you use that logic. For they did just as Jesus did. They did exactly what Jesus did, cure the blind, these 2 people. So if your logic is, oh, because Jesus did these things, I'm worshipping him, what about these other two prophets that did these miracles? You understand? So you can't use that logic. Then a group of the children of Israel, okay, left their own homeland in thousands out of death of plague. Allah made them die within 1 hour. The people of the village made the fence them, and they remained there until their bones became decayed. One of the prophets of the children of Israel passed by them. He was amazed when he saw their many decayed bones. Allah revealed to him, would you like me to bring those to life? He said yes. Allah revealed to him that he should call them out, and then he said, decayed bones, rise with the permission of Allah. All of them rose and dusted off their heads. Then Abraham, Allah's best friend, took the bird, cut it into pieces, and put each in a mountain. He called them, and they came towards him walking. Then Moses had 70 companions who he chose. They went with him to the mountain, and they said to him, have you seen Allah? Make us see Allah. Moses said, I have not seen Allah. They said, we will not believe until you show us Allah. The thunder strike, overtook them, and all of them got burnt. Only Moses remained alive. Moses said, my Lord, I have chose 70 from among the children of Israel and brought them to the mountain. Shall I return by myself? How shall my people believe what I tell them about it? If only you willed and perish them along with me before. Shall you perish us due to what this foolish did? So Allah the Great and Mighty gave life to them after their death. You cannot deny all these things which I have mentioned to you from the Torah, the Bible, and the Jewish book, the Zabur, David's Psalms. The Furqan, Quran have mentioned them. The Quran has mentioned these things. If all those who gave life to the dead, healed the blind and the leprous and the mad, were adopted as lords other than God, Allah, then you should adopt them as lords. What is your view on this? Because everyone who's doing miracles, you can't take him as a lord. So the Imam criticized the Christian for their adopting Jesus as a lord other than Allah, because he gave life to the deaf, healed the blind. While such miracles happened through the other prophets as well. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad and his family did miracles. And through great prophets before them as well. But they were not adopted as gods. They were not taken as gods. After the Catholic Archbishop had heard these brilliant words from the Imam, he addressed him saying, "My view agrees with you, as there is no God but Allah." So he became Muslim. The Imam turned to the High Rabbi and said to him, and then he debated the Rabbi as well, but I'm not going to go into that. And the Catholic, anyway, because I got to go, they need the camera. I just one question. The Imam made him confess that the Bible saying, "Have you found it in the step?" Because the Catholic became amazed at the Imam, his logic, his proofs. The Imam turned to the Catholic man and said to him, "Did you know that Isa, Jesus, said, 'I am going to my Lord and your Lord, and the Paraclete is coming, who shall testify to my truth, just as I testified it for him. And he shall explain everything to you, and shall be the one exposes all sins of nations, and shall be the one to smash the pillar of unbelief." The Catholic became amazed. We admit, we have just quoted from the Bible. Have you found that? Okay, so then he asked the Catholic, "Can you tell me about the first Bible? How you lost them? How you lost them, found it, and who put the existing Bible together?" The Catholic said, we did not lose the Bible except for one single day when we found it fresh. Johanna, John, and Matthew brought it back to us. The Imam answered him saying, "How little your knowledge of the Bible and its scholars is. If such your claim, then why do you dispute with each other about the Bible? Rather, controversy has always revolved around the Bible, which is in your hands today. Has it been the same as the first one? You would not have this dispute about it, but I shall inform you of such controversy myself. Be informed that when the first Bible was lost, the Christians gathered around their scholars and said to them, 'Isa, son of Mary, Jesus, has been killed, and we do not know where the Bible is. You are the scholars, so what do you have to tell to us?' Luke, and Marcanus, in Arabic, Marcanus, and the Johanna John said to them, 'We have learned the Bible by heart, so do not grieve in its regard, and do not forsake, and do not forsake, alright. Alright,
let me just put you in, bro. Yeah, bro, let me just hop in now. You don't do part two. I'm gonna be on the train in like 1 minute.
Come take over everything from your belly.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
I'm here, by the way.
COE.
Yes, sir.
Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. I don't even listen to Sky YG. I just listen to COE. Man, don't listen to BBC.
Would you like to come here, sir? I don't want to feel like I'm on the podium and, you know. No, not at all. How you doing?
How's it going?
What's your name?
Booyah.